Me know about sardine, mackerel, bully beef, chicken foot, chicken neck, chicken back. Nothing I waste, nothing I dash way.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to my channel and welcome to my kitchen. So it's a pleasure to have you all here with me. This is my first video, so please bear with me. I will learn along the way and hopefully you will learn as well along the way. So today I will be making a chicken foot soup minus the chicken foot. So I will be making a Jamaican chicken soup. So I wanted to give you kind of a background as to why I started this channel. So I was sharing a lot of my meal prep or recipes on my Instagram page, which I will be adding my Instagram page below, so feel free to follow me. And I've been getting a lot of demand on either for me to share my recipes or for me to save my videos so people can go back and look at them. So I decided to make a YouTube channel. And also it's COVID. And a lot of us are now stuck cooking at home. So I thought it could be a good idea to help people out. I myself am not a professional cook. I pretty much am self-taught. I learned a couple recipes from my mom that were handed down from my grandma. So those I will be sharing along the way. But I actually learned by myself, so again, self-taught. And I used to call it freestyling. So I would cook freestyle and I did a lot of experimenting. So this was back in university. So I went to Ottawa U and my mom was not nearby. She was about 4 hours away. So I pretty much had to learn on my own how to cook. And again, this was done through experimentation. So if you are not a cook, this is the right place for you because you can learn alongside me. But throughout the years, I've been cooking for about 15 years now, and I've learned a lot of tips and tricks, and I'm still learning myself. So no expertise required. I will be showing you every step that's necessary to make all my recipes. And again, not all these recipes are my recipe that I invented. Some of them are just recipes that I enjoy, that my family enjoys. So hopefully you and your family can enjoy it as well. So as I mentioned, today I am making chicken soup, Jamaican style. So for most of you that know me, I myself am French and Greek, but my husband is Jamaican. So I think it's very important for me, for my kids especially, to grow up with all the cultures and all their roots. So I do make a lot of Jamaican dishes, French dishes, Greek dishes, but I also love all different varieties of food. So again, I won't stick to a certain type of food on my channel. I will share a whole bunch of different styles and varieties of recipes. So I hope you enjoy. And again, if you do, please help me out and subscribe to my link below. And again, please feel free to comment if you have any recipes that you would like for me to do. I appreciate any sort of suggestion below, so please feel free to comment. And again, let's get started. So before I start with the first step, I'm going to showcase or show you all the ingredients that I'll be putting in my soup. So before we get started, most important thing when you start cooking is to make sure your hands are clean. So on camera, I will be washing my hands, although I did it before, but last thing I need is people saying, you didn't wash your hands. So scrub, scrub, scrub. Washing my hands. And prior to cooking, I always like to clean my kitchen. So I don't know if anybody else is like me and needs to cook in a freshly cleaned kitchen, but hello, that's me. So prior to starting this video, I made sure to clean my kitchen. And speaking of cleaning, what I also did was clean my chicken. Now, if you do not clean your chicken before cooking it, I highly, highly recommend you start doing so. So 2 things you can use to clean your chicken: vinegar and lemon. You can combine the both. I personally always use vinegar. I don't always use lemon. So I cleaned my chicken here with vinegar and a little bit of water, and again, you just massage the chicken. I also took off the skin. And yeah, and so now my chicken is clean, waiting for me. Behind me also here, I have a pot of water. This is where I'm going to be making my soup. I have a pot of water that I have on medium high. It's just water. I'm heating it up right now. So let me go through the ingredients that I'll be using. So cheers. I don't know about you, but I love to cook with some wine. So here we go. I have 2 carrots. I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 pieces of garlic, 7 cloves of garlic. I have 4 Irish potatoes, 1 onion, 1 radish, 1 what Jamaicans call chocho. In different cultures, I do believe, and please forgive me in advance, that is called chayote. Anyways, I'm going to be writing the name of all the ingredients below, so please check it out, and please forgive me if I did not pronounce it correctly. I also have some Jamaican sweet potato, regular sweet potato, yellow yam. I have some scotch bonnet. I will not be using all of this because my kids will not be able to sustain that type of spiciness. I have some fresh thyme. I have straight from Jamaica, and you do not need to buy this straight from Jamaica, but it just so happens that when I purchased this on Amazon, because where I live, I cannot find this for the life of me at any Walmart, or I unfortunately don't have any type of international grocery store here. So I had to purchase this on Amazon. So this is Grace's chicken noodle soup mix. So I have a whole box. I am going to assume I'm gonna need 2, but throughout tasting the soup, I might require some more. So for now, I have 2 of these packs. I have some fresh corn. I doubt I'll be using all 4 of those. I have some scallion or green onions. And I believe that's it. I will leave the spices till after because I like to show those separately, but I will also note that I will be adding some coconut milk. Sorry, I was reading it in French. Some coconut milk. So this can is a bit dented, but that doesn't matter. So regular coconut milk. Again, this is by Grace, but any coconut milk should suffice. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to start chopping all the vegetables. So for most of these, I have to skim them and then chop them. So stay tuned. I will come back once all that work is done, and I will show you guys the next step. So also want to remember that the water is boiling now. So I'll let you know what the next steps are.
Végéta can't cook. Think you you pay up pretty look. You want to live a restaurant and come done man bank book. Cook, recipe book. One in the kitchen cause you and them no look. You better cook. Think you you pay up pretty look. You want to live a restaurant and come done man bank book. Cook, recipe book. One in the kitchen cause you and them no look. Sunday morning you lay down in a bed for your boil too.
The water is officially boiling, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my cloves of garlic. So again, there are 7 in total. And then I will be adding my chicken. And this is raw. Okay, just add it in there. Again, clean chicken. About 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces. Obviously, you can add more or less. That is what I purchased today, so I cannot add any more. And what I'm going to do with this is I will be letting it boil. Up on our meat. It is boiling. Smells delish. So again, all I've added here now is garlic and chicken and water, nothing else. Now here I have my chopped up carrots and onions, which I will be adding to the pot. Now, be careful when you add this into hot boiling water, you can get burned. And if my husband was here right now, he'd probably let you all know that I often get burnt. So again, we're all learning here together, so just be careful when you add ingredients to boiling hot water. So it's smelling nice. Chicken is not cooked yet, but on its way. So I'm just gonna make sure this is at medium heat, and I'm gonna put back the cover, and I'll get back to cutting the rest of the vegetables. Okay, so as you can see here, I have cut up, peeled all my vegetables. Now, I do want to note a minor correction. So when I said radish, I meant turnip. So I apologize. Again, all the ingredients will be in the comments below. So don't worry, you will not make a mistake like I did, and we are all learning together. So give me a little bit of grace. Now back to our chicken. It is boiling nicely. Let's give it a little stir. Looking good. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're going to add the additional vegetables. Now, once again, please be careful when you add these into the boiling water. And I may or may not need all of this. Sometimes I make a bit more than I need. So we'll see how much fits in the pot. You still want some liquid in there. Woo. Right. Let's give it a stir. See how much is in there. Okay, no. Still got plenty of room. Let's add in some more. Add in some more. Okay. All right. Another stir. Still fit some more in there. If anything, I might have to take out a little bit of water, but looking good so far. Still got to remember that you have to add your coconut milk, so definitely need some room for the coconut milk. So I will be taking out just a little bit of water. So very simple to do. Now again, I did not measure the water when I first put it in the pot. So like I said, freestyle cooking at its best. So this is already smelling fantastic, and I have yet to add any spices. So this is pretty much like a bouillon or a broth that's currently being made. I could do this a bit So I think that's good for now. I'm gonna turn up the heat to high, and I will. So next step, we have dumpling. Now, what's a chicken soup, Jamaican style, with no boiled dumpling? It's a must. So I'm going to teach you how to make some dumpling. So what you will need is 1.5 cups of flour and a little bit of water, or a little bit, this is cold water by the way, very important, and some salt. So what we're going to do, I personally use whole wheat flour. Sorry, let me check up on my soup right now because it's all bubbling. Yes. All right. It smells delicious. So I'm gonna turn it down just a tad. So again, keeping it between medium to high heat. And back to our dumplings. So as I was mentioning, I use whole wheat flour. You can use white flour or whole wheat flour, it doesn't matter. The only thing that it will change is the color of your dumplings. So don't be alarmed, your dumplings will be a tad bit darker if you do use whole wheat flour. So again, 1.5 cups of flour. Add them both to the pot. And you're going to be adding some salt. So about one teaspoon, sorry, not tablespoon, 1 teaspoon. I will be adding the notes on the bottom, so don't worry. And what you're going to do is, one, make sure you have clean hands. So just to make sure I'm extra clean, I'm going to wash them right now. Again, in front of you guys, just to make sure. Because the last thing you want is to make dumpling with dirty fingers or dirty fingernails. Ugh, nobody wants that. So wash your hands. I honestly wash my hands like 50 times while I'm cooking, but better clean than sorry. All right, so back to the dumpling. So what you're gonna do, and very important, pause. So good. Very important is to not add the whole thing at once. So you're gonna add it little by little and you're just gonna play around with it. So just add a little bit, and then I'm just gonna be mixing it. Okay. Add a little bit more. So my hands are dirty, so pardon my hands. This is kind of a messy job right now. So again, mixing it. So what I'm doing, you can't see inside, but I'm just pretty much doing this motion with the flour and the water. Okay. I'm gonna add a little bit more water. Sorry, I'm taking off the excess dough from my hands. Just a little bit more water. Again, continue that same motion. Mixing it. So you're gonna start to create a dough. So just keep going. Okay. One more. Like I said, this is some messy business, but it tastes oh so good. Keep mixing. It's not quite there yet, but it is starting to get a little more doughy. Keep mixing it. Some parts that are right. So it's starting to look like this, one big piece. Just continue Add a little bit more. So again, little by little, just add your water. And honestly, if you added a bit too much water, you can always go back and add some more flour. So just as I mentioned that, I realized I added a little bit too much water. So I'm gonna just rinse my hands here and I'm gonna add a little more flour. Now again, most of the time when you make a mistake or a minor mistake while you're cooking, there's always a quick fix or some sort of way to fix what you did. So that's why it's always best to just take your time. Again, it's all a learning process. So I'm just gonna add a bit more here. In the meantime, I'll also check up on my soup. Make sure it's looking good. Just mixing it again every so often. Alright. Okay, back to the dumpling. So keep going till it makes, like I said, like almost like a pizza dough. Right, it's looking good, guys. About to show you. Right. Oof. So, can you see it? Looking good. All right, just continue. Some sticky parts. All right, so just gonna wash my hands again. I'm gonna get a plate so I can add the dumpling on it. I'm not quite ready yet to add it to the soup. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make, now I'm sure if you've had Jamaican food before, you've seen either it being made kind of like this, or they also make them circular. There's no difference really. It's gonna taste the same is really what I'm trying to say. So you can make them how you want. Kind of easy to make them like this. All right, so I think just to show you guys, I'm gonna make both styles. So, like I said, they make them circular. So what they do is they kind of, with your palm, kind of push it in, make a little circle. Now, again, you make them how you like, whether you like them big, you like them small. So this is another way that you can make it like a little circle. So do as you please. This is your kitchen. Sorry, my hair is in the way. Again, you don't want to make too many, depending on the size of your pot, of course. If you do have a very large pot, then you might be able to fit in more. But my pot is a decent size, but I put a lot of vegetables in there. In my household, we like our veggies. All right, so there we go. I have 4 dumplings so far. Do you hear that? Or as my daughter would say, hear that? You hear that, mommy? I have a 3-year-old daughter, by the way, if you don't know me. And she loves to cook with me, but I doubt I'd be able to make a YouTube video with her here, but who knows, maybe one day she'll make an appearance. All right. Almost done here. Make a couple more, and then we'll move on to the next step in the soup process. It's already smelling fantastic. I wish you guys could smell it right now. All right. make another circular one so it's not the only one. I think I made a mistake or something. Right. This one's a medium size. Alright, so back to our pot. So as you can see, it's looking good. Chicken is cooking up. It's actually slowly starting to fall off the bone, which is a good sign. Our veggies are getting mushier and things are smelling nice. So our next step now is to add a can of coconut milk. So I like to add just a little by little because, again, depending on the size of your pot, you don't want to add too much. So this is looking good right now. I think I might leave it at that because shortly we'll be adding the soup mix. Smells so good. All right. So what I did actually, this size pot is I added about half. So there's still half left in there. I'm gonna keep it to the side just in case I need it a bit later, but for now, we're gonna let this cook and we'll get back to the next step. Right, so here I have thyme, fresh thyme, scallion and scotch bonnet, and then I have my little dumplings here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add my dumpling. Ooh. Careful, huh? Remember what I said in the beginning, be careful when you're adding stuff into the boiling water. Right, and I will be adding the thyme like so, the scallion, and then the scotch bonnet. Very important to not break this because your mouth will be on fire. So just give it a little stir. This is just gonna float at the top here. All right, so as you can see, it's very hearty. We've got lots of veggies in there. It's coming together very nice. So I'm going to continue to let this boil. And the next step will be to add all the spices. So the final step, really. All right, it's time to add the spices. So once again, we're using Grace's chicken noodle soup. So I'm gonna use 2 packs in this. Just add it in. 1. 2. Mix it up. Mix it up nice. I may add another one. I'm gonna add the other spices first, and I'm gonna give it a little taste. But I believe I will more than likely add another one. So what I'm going to also add is some garlic. Now, I like it garlicky, so I'm adding quite a bit. I also have some all-purpose seasoning, cool running. So I'm gonna add 1, 2 teaspoons. Gonna be adding some Végéta. So same amount, about 1, 2, I'm gonna add 3 teaspoons. And then I have some, this is Dash, and this is the original blend. So I'll be adding some of this and mix it up. Mix it up, looking nice, smelling good. Mix it up. Alright, you see that? So I'm gonna let it cook, like get all the flavor together, let it mix up nice. And then I'm gonna give it a taste and see if it needs another pack of the chicken noodle mix. I took out the scotch bonnet to add the ingredients because I did not want to risk bursting it. So I'm gonna wait about 5 minutes and then I'll taste it and see if it needs another pack. Right, I added some light because I saw that it was getting a bit dark outside. So I went ahead and I just finished adding the corn. So I still have some left over just to show you guys. So I have about 1 left and there was, oh, how many? 4 in total. So I put about 3 in there. So as you can see, it's very hearty. The dumpling is getting boiled and the soup is coming together so nice. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to raise the heat a bit so it could bubble all together. And we'll come back in another 5 minutes and check it out. So I did taste it and it tasted phenomenal. Now, I just can't wait till all this comes together. I did not, at the end of the day, I did not add an extra soup because the flavor was rich. So I personally don't think it needs another one. So we'll wait and see. I mean, you could always add more as you go. I did also add some black pepper. So feel free to add some black pepper. I personally don't cook too much with salt, especially with all the seasoning that I added in here. I do not want to add any more salt, but if you are someone that enjoys their salt, feel free to add some more salt to the pot. There we go. This is what it's looking like so far. Looking good, tasting right. Put back on the lid and we'll give it another 5 minutes and we'll come back and check it out.
Me love you. Girl, come wine for me now, wine for me now, wine for me now, wine for me now. Squeeze me tight like you're not gonna let go. Play with me body like a piano. Come wine for me now, wine for me now, wine for me now, wine for me now. Squeeze me tight like you're not gonna let go. Play with me.
So our soup is looking nice. It is officially finished. And again, I wanted to thank you all for joining me in my kitchen. I am Adriana Max. I wanted to cheers you all and thank you again for tuning in. I hope to share more videos on a regular basis, so feel free to subscribe, to comment below, to like, to share, and all of the above. And again, I will be adding my link to my Instagram page. So hope you enjoy and I look forward to sharing more of my recipes. Bye. It's the moment of truth. You are going to try the soup that I made.
Finally, it smells so good. Let me see if it tastes as good as it smells.
Full disclosure, he is a true Jamaican from Jamaica.
me try this. Okay. That's how you feel?
It's gonna require a rating.
Oh, this is really good. And I haven't even gone through everything yet. So far, so good. I'm rating it a A+.
Oh, snap, that's the
So
highest
far.
rating.
Well, it tastes really good. Let me taste this dumpling. What do you call these again? What did you call them?
It's a dumpling.
What?
Dumpling.
Dumpling. You understand? When you're gonna say the thing them, you say proper. For dumpling. A dumpling.
Taste my dumpling.
Dumpling tastes good. It's very good.
Thank you.
I give it an A+.
Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the verdict is in. A+. Hope you guys all enjoy the soup as well. Bye.